Why, hello there. Let's make sure everything is good. I think we are okay. You need to refresh for me, please. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to need you to start up for me. All right. So we were working on this. We were getting the drop down, and we need to give. I was deciding if I wanted to do something different here. But I think the answer is no. We specifically said that the supporting controller can't be null in this case. So it's appropriate for the throw an error there. We don't want to do... We could null check it, or make it nullable, I guess I should say, in the widget. But I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to know when there's a problem. We've messed up and forgotten to give it a thing. So I think we just want to give it the whatchamacallit, attribute controller. So let's go ahead. I gotta remember. It was down here. We have our attribute, we have our skill. No, this is wrong. That's my status effects. This one is the skills and attributes. Let's change that. There we go. Skills. You. Kaboom. Okay. That goes in there. Now we also need to do the selecting what is already, or setting in this field whatever is already selected. Because over here, you know, that's why I had the no, that's not true. That's why I have this open. Initial selection is the property we're looking for here, and we did a resolve here because we needed to check. We can just do this. We did this because it needed to be generic, I think, if I remember correctly. So we're going to end up doing the same thing here. We need to do a controller as well. Oh, whoops. Up here. Ah! Throw that in there to remind myself. Initial selection needs to be and I'm wondering, yeah, we need to check this for a null. Why can't I just know? Oh, because I'm in the wrong spot. Duh. There we go. Okay. So that gets that set. Perfect. Okay. Let's give it a controller really quick. And I want to double check. Yeah, on select, we need to do that too. What was the purpose for the controller? Was it something to do with the reload of, or the reset of data? Yes. Okay. Up here. And then over here, Yeah, we just create a new one. We didn't set it. We let the initial controller worry about that. Down here, we set you. We also need to make sure to remember that and then what we need to do the on selected, on changed. Too far down. I need to be up in this one. Property to modify. On selected. You're not a modifier option though. This is attribute. And then not effect, but oh, did we not set up our skill modified? Oh yeah, duh. We're not in attributes. So we set that, and also we need to add none to you, I think. How do we do this? Property to modify. We have you. um this should be guarded there so we don't reset state unnecessarily. But selected modifier option is option. And then modifier menu, which is that. But you Where did I set you up? Ah, you're in, right. Why am I not seeing you? Am I just blind? Probably. Probably is the answer. Yes, set modifier menu. We can, okay, so we can say if this is set to null. Actually, we can just do the same thing we did here. We'll do it the same exact way. So if you're not null, it won't be that though. Which actually shouldn't be over here either. It'll be that. Otherwise, it's null. And these guys should also be the editable copy getting set. There we go. Okay, so if, for example, we come in here. Oh, but there is no null option. What do I want to do about that is the question. The answer can I do We need to do this. In here, I would need to do... This needs to be... this. We don't have to allow you to be nullable. Ooh, we can't do that, though. Did we have to do... We skipped all this because we could say if this was null, we nulled that. But yeah, this is nullable. But if we make you nullable, then you can be nullable. Then you can be nullable. Which allows that. Which solves that. But then... can we add all this? Oops. I can't do that. Can I... why can't I? You're void, but... what we probably need to do is just put this into a function. It's not even attribute though. It's drop down menu entry. Attributes. Like so. And we can just cut this whole thing and use that instead. Down here, we can put you in. We can say this is that, and then in here You don't have access. Should, though. Ah, no, because you're not. Should be that. Oh, I forgot to make you nullable here. Could we do this? Interesting that I can't chain that. That's fine, though. It should give us what we want. And we could actually say... What did we do over in... here? We said none. So we'll do the same. Trying to think if that making that nullable is the correct answer, or if I should instead create a placeholder none with just a random UUID. I don't think it's going to matter either way, but we'll leave it as is for now. If we need to change it in the future, we can always tweak it up and do a different approach. Okay, so if I was to set you to none and apply over here, base attribute ID would go away. I put you back to mind, then you get changed back. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Let me do a hot reload here real quick and make sure that on first load, yeah, it finds none. Perfect. And it was mined before. Put it back. I think that's everything for this widget, this part, this change. That part's done. Let's go ahead and commit that. It would help if I was in the right directory. Oh, that's right. I need to, hang on. Because I made changes over here while I was looking at this for sanity's sake. So I'm going to do, just for this history, if I happen to be flipping through, looking for where I broke something, I'm going to do a commit for just this change. And we just guarded or checked for null before we set. I think that's the only thing change we made. Yes. Check for the status effect changed flag before we set it. Don't set things we don't need. Okay, and then I can add the rest of this. We say implement the base attribute ID selection. Okay. Meow. Next task. While I was doing not this, I had a thought. So in our, and we can play with skills and attributes first. In our header up here with the refresh. Not skills and attributes, status effects. We'll play with you first. We had done this stack and then we aligned this guy. But what if, well, that's a center, not a row. But we maybe can do what were you? If we said bottom end, nothing has changed, which is kind of to be expected. Okay. That's not bad, except for, can I just do center end? Then I don't have to mess with aligning this, so our widgets get just a little bit simpler. I like that. Pretty sure. Let's make sure I can comment that, roll this back, rebuild it. Yeah, it's in the same place. Either way, I'm just thinking it's a little bit. Not sure if I would prefer it over here, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. both here and in the... It's not in here though. It's in the toggleable editor. That, ditch that, ditch that. Perfect. Now everybody lives in the same place, but a little bit less mucking about. All right, and we're commit that. And we'll say switch to aligning stack items at center end instead of aligning fresh button in an align widget. Perfect. Perfect enough anyway. Okay. Oop, forgot to do that. Okay. I think that's the end of that widget, actually. So, what's the next widget? I think it's the map. Let's double check. Map is going to be a big job. So here's the old one. Status effect, skill and attribute, map editor. Yep. It's the map. Okay, so. Big job time. Let's think. We don't have... Oh, yeah, we still have our editor test map. Okay, good. Hopefully there's a Flutter file browser type thing, or I guess we could build one. I don't love the one that we had before anyway. Okay, so... Let's do our... I'm just going to open this guy. Let's do a screenshot. So that we have that to refer back to. And we can always just relaunch the client too, but this is faster usually. Okay. First thing we're going to need to do... New folder. App editor. Start the file. Map editor. Oh, 1L. There we go. That this is state create state. Yes. And then we need like so. If I could type. All right. What have I done incorrectly? I've done this backwards. Easy enough to fix. I was close there. And then this. I return that, right? Think so. Perfect. All right. We're going to need some stuff. Where did I put my templates? Because those need to be saved to file. Hello there yourself there, Speeding. How's it going? I think I put them into the client folder, or the editor folder itself. Editor widgets, icons. I did put it in here. I put it inside the map editor. I'm not sure if I want to keep that because well, I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll still have to have a controller for it either way. And we're going to reuse our object controller interface. Doing good, man. How are you today or not? I'm doing all right. Just working away. It's always a good day when you get to write a little code, you know? Our object controller should be reusable for, I guess I can pull this over here, for the templates. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I'm just kind of thinking about the things that I'm going to be needing. A tile edit form that we can do. So this is going to be the main widget here, I think. Well, no, that's not true. Thinking about how I lay this out so I can get data back and forth. Templates is going to be kind of its own thing. But I'm also going to need to detect where I drag you. And I don't know how that's going to look in Flutter versus Cogent. Because we use the signal system in Cogent, I think. If I'm not mistaken. But in the absence of certainty, what I'm going to do is keep doing what I have been doing, essentially, and breaking them up. It's a lot of work right there, at least in my eyes. Myself, I'm a modder, but not impressive like this, though. I mean, modders are rad. Modders are keeping games alive, like Skyrim, for, you know, way longer than they should be without them, you know? Modders get to deal with developers' decisions, too. And, you know, it's a different creature, but, like, it's definitely a skill set. I've only done a very little bit of modding. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start with just the basic wired out layout of all the different bits and pieces there. And we'll fill them in as we go here over the next couple days of project time. Right now, we'll just call you map. Well, map editor. And because of the way we built everything, it's automatically here. And it's automatically... No, I lied. Why aren't you automatically over here? Now we got to fix that first. Landing page, available pages. Is this a hot reload issue? It is. It's automatically there. Perfect. Map editor. 100% true. If you don't mind me asking, what will this engine be used for? A mud game. It's too early to say right now. Yeah, it's for a mud. So think maybe before your time, think about if you could play Zork online with your friends. That's what muds were. I have created a fresh island for Skyrim. Not done yet, though. Cool. Rock on. I've played a fair amount of Skyrim. Let's see if we can find out how much really quick. I've never beaten Skyrim because I've never finished the main quest because I always get distracted with everything. But I've played a fair amount of Skyrim. And I enjoy some Skyrim. Usually with survival mods. I like survival games. Let me see here. Can I not? Games. There we go. $143 hours. That's how much Skyrim I've played. So a fair amount of time. Okay. So let's get this guy wired up. And I kind of like this where we didn't have the border in the middle on the other one. We will use this, I think. Yeah, okay. So the first thing we're going to need to do over here in editor land. Ooh, can I do... what did they call this thing? A split view? Something like that? Or a split incogent? Yeah. This is vertical split view is a widget. Ooh, is this not a... Is this a package, perhaps? Oh, it's over here. It's so bright! Vertical split view. Oh, okay, so they wrote their own. That's what they did. I see. What I want to know is what they did for the handles. This. They just did it. Okay, it's just a gesture detector. Hit test behavior translucent. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take that and we're not going to look at the rest of this code because I want to learn and think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement my own for that. And what I'm going to also do is bookmark this. So if I get stuck, I can come back to it. Into the Flutter with you folder. Okay, so we're going to end up with 3. Which means this widget that we build, and is there anywhere else I want to use this? I don't think so in here. So it'll probably end up living in here. Let's do, to start with, we'll expanded you so you fill up the whole thing. The main thing will be a row. And then we will do actually, you need to be expanded. Inside of you, there's a column. We'll say flex. One should be fine just for a starting place. Inside of here, we'll just put a single text widget for now. Template placeholder. Then we'll do the expanded. We'll leave the flex alone. Or actually, we could just do, let's call it 8. Also a column. That's where the map will live. One more. Flex one. And then this is the tile data, is what we call it, right? Yeah. I think so. Okay. Incorrect use of parent data widget. Oh, you know why? Because this is already expanded, I think. Should be expanded by the parent. Yeah. Okay. So we've got those. And I'm thinking that if I build just the wire framey bits, the borders and stuff, that'll be easier to look at and to add the clicking and dragging stuff. So that's where I'm going with this. So let's go ahead and do in here. Actually, hang on. Let's do a commit right here first. Add app editor widget file. Add to screens. Do rough layout. We'll call it that. Good enough. Now, I don't need a directory. I just need a file. You will be template bar. You're going to need I'm not sure if you're going to need to be stateful or not. I think so. In fact, no, because we're going to have a list in there that's modifiable. It'll be stateful. So, oops. Just get that in there. No, it's not voided state. Create state, I think. Yes. But I forgot that. Okay, perfect. Now, in here, instead of this, actually, I should just do I should return the whole column as a base starting point. And nothing has changed here, which is to be expected. That's what we want to see. Let's do... Yeah, we can just do this guy. Did I do a... I think it's editor container. Yeah. that does that. Except you're in the expanded. Oh, you know what? No. Scaffold. None of that should matter. I guess one is just too small for flex. It's odd that it didn't squish before. It's also not taking up quite as much space as I would like. I might not... Let me test this really quick. Yeah, that margin is too big for this particular. So if I'm to modify this widget, then I would have to pass in my margin and padding, which kind of loses... some of the effect that I'm going for here. And it's really the margin that's killing me right now. Padding would be fine. Why does this... We didn't use you. Oh, you know why? It's because it's this one. What I could do... If I did this... I could do... I could set a default on it. And then also... And then, yeah, I don't need to double up there. And then I can do... And then when I'm over here in the map editor, I can say in here, editor container, and I can zero out the margin for this one. I don't know if I really gain anything by doing that though, as a part, you know, in the reusability sense. Let's roll back this file. We'll leave that alone. Take this out of here. I'm going to do this, what I really should do. These should be nullable. It's just flipping the API, the expected API on its head like that just seems wrong and wonky. I will need to rescue from this though. In our skills and attributes. I think it was in there. Actually, let's do this. Right. That's this one. You're used in here. Attribute edit panel. I need to put y'all in there. And then I also need... Wait, did I miss one? I did miss one. Skill edit panel also has you. And then here in the status effect panel. Okay. Wait. Status effect edit panel. Oh, okay. No. What I've done is I've given this a bad name and confused myself. Because I'm an idiot. You go back. We're going to leave this alone. You also go back. You also go back. You also go back. Okay. We're going to give this a better name. And hang on 1 second. What I'm going to do, we're going to stash that right quick. That's fine. That can stay for a second. Editor container. We're going to call you that instead. And we'll commit this. Rename the form container to hopefully be less confusing. We'll pop our stash back off so we keep all of our other things. This can go away for a hot second. We'll leave that. Okay. And then we probably need to rebuild. Flutter doesn't like it too terribly often or too much that I when I muck around with Git files underneath the hood there. Let's put you ahead of these guys just because okay, so we can't do that, but what we can do I'm just thinking about border width. I want to tie border width into something, so if I want to change it in one place, I can change it in one place, right? Because that's going to be something we want to kind of be consistent with, I think, because it ties everything together. Because right now, all of my borders are all the same width. And for these other guys, I have just been wait, that should be it. Why am I not seeing? Yeah, okay, so I've just been putting them in. I'm just going to put them in here, and if it becomes an issue, we'll pull it out. We're going to make you a container. And then we're going to do the same thing here. And it was 2. So we can do the same thing here where we do decoration, box decoration, border, border. It's not border though. This is for border all. And we should also color here, which is primary color light to make it the same as the others. Okay. That'll do that. That's fine. We have a column here. We need to do the same thing we've done in the other ones here. Chunk you down there. We're going to put in an expanded here. And I didn't make a header, right? No. Okay. Makes sense. We'll do one for a start. You become my body. This will be like the footer. Okay, good. I want this guy. Inside of a padding. No, actually, this needs to be a container. Because I'm going to want to put a border on it. Actually, I wouldn't need to do padding. Let's just do this really quick. Decoration, which is a box decoration. It has a border, which is a border, bottom, border, border side. Or no, it's already bottom. Width, border width, color. Can I make this easier on myself? I don't think I have access to context here. Thought so. Can do a late though. Okay, yeah, let's rock and roll with that. That'll be better. And then what am I... What am I missing here? Container. Child. Too many positional arguments. Huh? Missing one of them. That's what's up. Okay, so that gives us that. This right here, text align, center. No. What did I do over here? Did I have to put you inside of something and center you there? Probably is the answer. Size effects, I just put you into a center. But then I still had to text align center you. Huh. I can do that. It's fine. Do I actually need this? No. No, I don't. This is in status effects. I don't need you there either. I don't know why. Oh, you know, I bet you that was part of the old before the reload. But I am actually going to want to do that. I think, yeah. We're going to do the same thing here that we did over there. Oh, let's see here. We did alignment directional. Center end. This guy goes in here, and then it's followed by a text button. We'll do that for now. That puts him over here. All is well there. Let me do this really quick. Just to keep that all broken out. Okay. And then our placeholder can live in there. That's fine. We're just going to center him. Because I can and because it'll be nicer. The footer here. We're going to put a container around you. This will make a consistent, like so. Why am I not seeing my border? Top, border color, border width. Oops. There we go. Okay. I think it was a reload issue there. Do I actually need to center here? I do. Because that's what's going to make it fill out. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to do, instead of calling you header, templates is what we used to say, right? Yeah, just templates. Perfect. Why is my hot reload sucking so much? There, perfect. That all. Gonna go into a commit. Rough in the templates section. Perfect. We might as well. Might as well do the other side here. So we'll do a new widget for the tile data. This will also need to be stateful because we're going to put stuff in there. Yeah. So we'll do that. That. Oh, that. And then that, and nothing changes here as expected. It's not supposed to. Perfect. So we're gonna do a container here. Oh gosh, what was it? Border.all. I'm gonna grab you. You can live up here for now. We can make you final, so we will. You live here for now. Okay, gives us our border. Thinking, do I need or want a refresh? Not for this one, I don't think. Because this should only get populated when you click on the tile. Nothing should be changing a tile while you're there. There shouldn't be any possibility for that to get weird. And if it does, you can click off and click on again. That's what I think. So. Expanded. Flex. 1. Child. This one is going to be just a center. But you need to be also in a container. So that we can border you. Decoration. Box decoration. Border is a regular border, not a border all. This is bottom, border side, color. Well, we're doing width first. Border width, border color. Here, child, and we do for now, we'll put this in to do set to. Actually, no, we're going to leave the tile the same, or the header rather the same every time for now. I wasn't super happy with that, I don't think, in the other one. And I think I would rather leave it the same. And change the content if there's nothing set. I'm also on a project that I might decide to live stream to. Cool. Do it. All right. That's that. That's not quite correct. What's going on there? What did I screw up? Is it because the flex isn't set? In this case, 9, because it'll be one more. Yes, it is. Okay. You are not centered. That's my problem with that. I don't need this center, though. That's what went wrong. Okay, there we go. This we can chuck in a center just for the heck of it. Because it'll make it'll look nicer as we block this in. I do need to launch this really quick though to make sure the old one, map editor, if we had something selected. Okay, yeah, there's no bottom button here. That's what I was looking for. Okay. And there shouldn't be. Because we did a different thing for that. We'll have to kind of study our UX and or just rebuild it. To know exactly how we want to handle that going forward in the Flutter version. Okay. That. I think that's enough for this block in over here. So let me do this. We'll say drop in the tile data panel. Okay. Last one we need to block in is going to be the map in the center here. I guess I'll call you map pane. That's fine for now anyway. Create state. State. Map pane. Oop. Turn. Start with our text. Map placeholder. Oops. This is map pane state. All of that in place. And now map editor. Actually, we should call them U2. We'll just do that. Okay, nothing has changed. That's a mistake because you go there. Okay. Nothing has changed as expected because we just replaced it one for one. But in here, we're going to do kind of the same thing, actually. No container around the outside because I kind of like that outcome, that effect. But we are going to have this will be expanded. We'll start with one here. Can I get away with this? No, I need to do a container first. We're going to put that in there for now. This is going to get decoration. I'm going to steal this again for over here as well. Steal this again for over here as well. Box decoration. Border. Border all for this one. Border width. Border color. Does that. And then you that's fine. That will be okay for now. It's going to change a little bit. But that's going to be part of our having the split in here as we work on that. Like so. Okay, so. Let's go ahead. Up in the map pane. Okay. Let's go look at our article here. So he did it this way, where a widget goes into each of those. Okay, that's fine. That I like the way he's named that. We're going to borrow that. And we're going to build this up as a widget here. We can call it a split view. That's still fine. This will also have to be a stateful. State extends state can't type is for split view. Give it a build. Forgot my build context. That's going to be important. There we go. That for a start. That's not says oh my gosh, what are you? I just used you. My brain. Create state. Do. There we go. That's better. I'm going to... No, I don't need the border constants. What we're going to do, though... Let's see, it was left, right, and center. So these are going to be final widget left... Okay. So this is where it's going to start to get tricky. I think... I think I need an expanded here. It's going to be a row, I think, as the child still. And I think inside of here... Actually, you know what we could do? We could... Because that's the whole reason we did this way. Oops. Can I not do that? For now, because I don't think these are going to be expanded after we're done, but for right now, we're going to leave that. And then we can pull over. We can say split view, left, template bar, center is map pane, right, tile data. And this should once again be a 1-for-1 as soon as I import you. Okay, we can't make you expanded. That was what I was afraid of. Actually, it shouldn't matter because row should be the width of the parent. Okay, so let's make sure we rebuild just to be sure. Yes, okay, so that's a 1-for-1. Perfect. And now we'll have the ability to look at these things as we build them. So this... I'm going to have to look more at this because I'm not sure. I want to read the words and then try to figure out how to go from there. I don't want to just copy it. I want to understand what he's doing here. Widget has 2 children, one on the left, one on the right. Okay. Optional initial ratio. Okay. Makes sense. ratio in order to calculate the width for each child. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that he's going to do, this is going to be a layout. Instead of a row. No, it's not that. It's... what's the syntax for this? It is... Is it just a layout? Where did I use this last? I don't remember where I used it last. Flutter layout builder. To the docs. Because it takes a context as well. Layout builder. It is layout builder, but it takes a builder property. That's what I was missing. Layout builder. Builder. Wait, is that there? Yes, okay. Let's get this in real quick. Like so. Let's return that, I think. And then it's... Wait, no. Builder is... Build context. Context. And then box constraints. Constraints. And then I'm missing that. And then I got one too many of them. Okay, there we go. And then if I type this correctly, it'll help. Okay. Now. When he clicks and drags, I bet you he's calculating... based on these constraints. So I bet you, instead of an expanded... he's using a sized box. Do we want to worry about the... deal? Well, we need an initial ratio for sure. But I think I want to just set it, hard set it. It's probably fine. Well, no. Is there a data structure already that we can use? Let's see what he used. So my prediction is that these are going to be sized boxes. The width of them are going to be calculated based on the ratio. So constraints width or max width, whichever one it is, divided by that thing. whatever is set. That's my guess. Ratio in order to calculate the width of each chart, we've already got full width. We need to modify the child widgets here left and right. No, because we only changed the available space for them. Full available width, max width. Yep. Easy task. Subtract the divider width. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Every child into a sized box with custom constraints. For the left child, we calculate the width ratio times max width. If the right child, it's 1 minus ratio times max width. 1 minus ratio. Layout builder. Yep. Divider wrapper, okay. Inside a gesture detector. On pan update, okay. Delta dx in relation to max width. Never going beyond 1 or 0. Set state to actualize the constraints we give to left and right. Yes. But does this get more complicated with 3? So I was right about... We need to look at his code for the ratio, double ratio. Oh, that's why. Okay, so there's no data structure that he's using because his is only two of them. So his example here... Okay, so this gets a little bit more complicated, but I think we're okay. Do we want to do... The flutter, like the flex, just uses a double, I think. How do we want to lay that out, though? Because you can't rely on not messing up and giving more than... But we can just math it, I think. It's not capitalized. Let's do left flex. Right flex. And we'll say, if you don't say otherwise, it'll be 2. This will be 6. Oops. And this will be 2. Okay. So in here, Size box instead of the expanded. And we're going to say the height is infinity, so that it'll basically be expanded on that. Axis. Width. So how did he... Did he do a override on the initialization here? Oh no, he just did it up top here. Yeah, okay. Widget ratio, okay. Get width 1. I don't understand the 1 minus here, though. One minus the ratio. And up here in his build, he gets the max with all that. Our I wish I understood why that Y minus was there. I bet you that's the kind of the trick. This guy, ratio plus equals details delta dx divided by max width. We're going to end up needing using 2 ratios, I think. And he declared that up here, which makes sense. Let's I guess he didn't say 0, which I don't need to either. Oops. It's just complaining that it's unused. Get width 1, which... really showing my ignorance of the front end world here. Ratio is widget.ratio. That makes sense. But what we need to do is actually figure that out on init. Get rid of that really quick just so it shuts up. He doesn't discuss why he does that, unless I'm missing it. And he's only got 1 divider. We're going to end up with 2. He also is doing... So he's saying if the max width is null, which, okay, fine. When you start it up, it's going to be. Because he hasn't initialized it yet here. So I'm not sure Flutter is going to be happy about that, but that's fine. We'll push on here. Where did you go? I just lost you. Here you go. Max width is null. Then max width is constraints max width. So that's the max width of the context screen, which is the space the widget has, minus divided width. Okay. But then he says if max width is not equal to constraints.max width, which it won't be. Max width is constraints max width minus divider width again. I don't understand that exactly. Like, why would you do that twice and in the build? Because this is going to run every single time. Every time it gets rebuilt, which it should be doing, I believe, every time you reset the state. So I don't understand that exactly either. But what we need to do here, ultimately, is max width and we need to divide it by the total of this guy. Let's do... Do I want to do that in a function? No, because this only needs to happen on init. Do I need... Where else does max width get used? I don't think it does. Yeah, it's only up here. Okay, so we should have the... We should do the divider width. He used 16. We can... I'm going to do 20 just because we've been using 20 for a lot of things. And then he did a sized box for his dividers as well. Let's comment these out until we're ready to deal with them. Oh, that should be that anyway. Okay, so we've got our sized boxes here. They're all tall and skinny. And this is divider width. And what did he use for icons drag handle? Okay. I was reasonably okay with that as a thing. Oh, that should be final double. We do the same thing here. Also a drag handle. Except for his are voidical. And ours are not. I wonder if that has changed at some point. Oh, he did a rotation transition. That's how he got the... Okay. Interesting. Oops. Pushing buttons, pushing buttons. Okay, that makes it that way. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's kind of cool. We're learning things. Okay, that gets me my side draggy bars, sideways drag handles. And what I really could do here is I can pull these apart so I don't have to copy paste them. And it's going to have to be all of this, but this guy is going to need we don't need height. This is only going to be in here. And then we'll worry about the drag here in a second. That'll clean that up a lot. Just like so. Okay. Perfect. Now, the other bits and pieces here. I think we can do this here. Hey Marco, how's it going? How have things been? Let's see here. I need to... Do I want to do ratio here? Because it's going to change. How's the engine? It's all right. I'm still rebuilding the editor. We're in the map world now. I just finished the skills and status effects, skills and attributes. So status effects have been rebuilt. Like so. Skills and attributes have been rebuilt. Now with things that actually, you know, boxes that obey where I tell them to be, that kind of thing, you know, pretty big fan of that. So now it's just time to work on the map editor. I don't know about polished. I'm much happier with the way they come out, that's for sure. Because it's not full of broken layout stuff that I don't know if is my fault or not. Is there a way... On pan update property. Doesn't tremendously help me. The gesture detector. Gesture detector. That's a tap. That's a tap. Horizontal drag update. This feels more correct than his thing. Horizontal direction. Not sure how exactly I want to represent this, because he's only doing 2, but I need 3. We can at least figure out... Okay, so... Well, no, we can't do that either. He's doing... Where's his get width? Probably just overlooking it. Oh, they're up here. Duh. He just arrow funked them. Maybe I can still... Maybe I can do a similar thing. Let's do, Is it still max width, I wonder? In here, ooh, I can't do that though. Ooh. Because we don't have that until we're in our layout builder. Does that become a problem? So that's why he did this. Oh, I forgot to underscore that. That it will account for. But this can't be null. He hasn't flagged it as nullable. I wonder if this is old Flutter. We could say you're nullable. We can do that. That's horribly unreadable. Is there any other... I can't just ignore you? Okay. Why is this no longer... Oh. Because I'm dumb. Ooh, but then I can't do that. Interesting. It's odd that this doesn't appear to be valid Flutter. It must be old. I think I can do this simpler. This needs to be a late. Oh, right, because we can't do that outside of constraints. We could do that instead. Oh, you are wrong because I didn't update that. this needs to be... This isn't going to work this way. I don't think we want to mess with ratios in here. We still need max width to be that. I think we do widths here because we should be able to get from the gesture details. There's a delta here. Delta.dx, delta direction x, maybe? Which is hopefully in pixels, and I can just change. It'll be way more readable and easier to think about. In here, but we'd have to get the width. I guess we could do this one time. So if it's the max width is less than 1, then we could come in and get our... So we wouldn't need to override this at all, in theory. The left width would be equal to max width divided by left flex plus right flex. This should be center flex plus right flex. Times a flex. Is that right? I think so. And this would be... We could do... Oh, they don't want that. Okay, that's fine. Max width has not been initialized. Let's restart the application. Okay, why didn't max width get initialized? Oh, because it didn't get initialized. Okay. So we've got that. Wait, no, we had defaults set for these, didn't we? We did. So I've done that. Oh, no, you know what? I didn't do this. That. Okay, well, not quite. That needs to be in parens, for one. I'm sure I'm doing math wrong here, but it's late, and I'm going to go to bed. Tomorrow, we'll come back, and we'll poke at this a little bit more. Because I'm sure that I'm just doing math stupidly here. Ooh, this won't work. Because this is in the builder, that's going to be a problem. So I'll have to fix, I need to leave myself a note. This can't be in the builder because it would get reset every time we modified it on the drag. Alright, so keep doing the hard work full power. I gotta go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow. But yeah. Thank you, everybody who came and hung out. We had great chats today. Appreciated that a lot. If you like this kind of thing, I would love to see you again. I do this thing 4 days a week for 2-ish hours, starting at 8 p.m. Central Time. Twitch, you have a schedule. YouTube, you'll have to do math. But yeah, I'd love to see you again. And if not, you guys have a great week.